Master of none.
Yep.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adopt the agenda.
I have one correction to add to new business number 5. I have zoning permits, no new permits issued. There was 2 issued. I just carried it over from last month, forgot to take that off. So there are 2 zoning permits.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Do we want to add on a budget meeting, or do we do that at then?
Yeah, we could add that on in the mayor council, set date time for next budget meeting,
Okay.
number 2. And Mike, you approve the
Yeah.
agenda?
Yes.
All in favor, or any discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Consent agenda,
So moved.
second.
A second.
I got Morgan.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, open forum, each person wishing to speak about anything not on the agenda, you have 2 minutes.
Janet, do you want me to do the library stuff and you guys talk about that?
We'll do that at the daycare center.
Yep.
The next one, yeah,
Yep.
that's fine.
Nobody? All right, let's move on to old business, daycare center.
I can get started. I've been working back and forth with the library's entertained looking at moving possibly up to the daycare center due to some issues we've been having with some grants. And, the library did discuss one of the grants tonight, but there's a sensitive timeline on it. And they voted tonight to give the $500,000 grant back. Because they don't feel that they can get their project done by the end of 2026. So instead of being rushed and making decisions that they want more time on, they decided it makes more sense to give it back than rush and do things that they're not.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. Did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, just if you think about it, it's like our plan was over here, then things changed, then it moved over here, things changed, and it's like maybe over here, and then we're looking at another option, and it's like all the time. And with this second grant, quite honestly, we didn't even know about it. What was it, like March of 24, I understand that, but we didn't really have a good understanding of it probably till like the last maybe, I don't know, within the last 6 months or less. And, you know, it's, to me, that grant is more of a type of grant where you're already doing a project and you need some more money, you know, like you're already into it. Because, I mean, they didn't even give you 2 years on it. I mean, it was like, what, you have to have it all up and running by December of 26. It just, with the options that were out there, I just don't, even with the daycare center, I don't think it's feasible. And then the stipulations they put in at the 3 things that you had to have in there were like, I don't know, are we going to get those in the library? So that's why. I mean, we didn't take it lightly. You know?
And they also knew, the library knew that the state also said that by December, they either had to have their project, the land bought, purchased and moving forward, or they're taking it back. So they had to make a decision by tonight.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't that they just decided they're, and the state said you would rather give the money back than have us come take it back because you haven't started anything yet.
Is this something they can reapply for later on the line, down the line, like?
You can for other
Again?
projects.
But yeah, it'd probably be, it might not be the same grant, but other optional. But this way, there's no ding against the library or the city for, you know, saying we're gonna take it and then, you know, by just giving it back versus them taking it back. I mean, that would look a whole lot worse.
And we have exhausted every option we have with them, and they're pretty black and white. They're not changing anything for anything. It's either you take this and you get it done by then, and if you don't get it done by then, you're probably gonna have to pay it back, or you give it back before we take it back. I mean, there's no wheeling and dealing with them, they put it out there pretty cut and dry.
What is the name of this grant?
That was the library construction.
It was
grant.
actually a community type of a grant, cause it, I mean, I can't remember
Community funding project.
right. Yeah, it wasn't specific for library, but we were going to use it for the library.
From the state.
CP, community program funding.
I think that's what it was.
It was from the state.
Yeah.
And it's 500? Is that 500,000?
Yep.
So do you guys vote on whether the daycare center was an option or no?
Well, we're still looking at, we're still looking at, you know, the options that are available. And, I'm going to call Eights and State Bank and make it, not make an offer per se, but just say, this is what we're thinking, would you consider it? And then that'll help us make our decision from there. I don't feel like we have to jump quite as quickly because of not having that 500,000. I mean, that was the biggest piece of it that we had to decide, and we just weren't really sure that that was our best option. And then with other opportunities opening up, we want to look at all available possibilities.
So no decisions.
The only decision made was to give that grant back to buy them more time before they took it back.
Yeah, and we meet again in December, and you know, if Eights and State Bank will accept what we offer, maybe we'd make a decision in December. I don't know, but we do meet again in December.
Right.
One thing though, the library did ask of me to ask you guys or bring it up, let's say Eitzen State Bank does accept their offer, they want to have the city be in charge or the EDA be in charge of renting out the daycare center like they do with Med Building. Cause the library doesn't wanna be in charge of all of that. They just wanna be their library and do their thing. They would rather have the city take care of renting the building out and that type of stuff, so.
Would
I
the
said-
the city would own the property though, right? Or is the library own its own property?
Well, if the library funds are used for that whole building, then really the library then owns that. I mean, yeah, the city, but the library owns it. I'm not really sure exactly how that all plays out. But if the library funds are being used to buy the whole building, then whatever rent or what, then two things could happen in my thinking is either then the city, if they get their donations or whatever, they pay for that half and that goes back into the library funds to be used to build up the rest of the library. Or,
But can the library, being a completely volunteer service, own property, is my question. Or does the city council own, not city council, but
I think the
The
library
city owns
owns
it.
it.
yeah, we'd have to look at it, but you know, if you're saying, here's what I'm looking at, if it's being bought with library funds, and I know city funds, library funds, but it is city funds in that case. I mean, if you're taking the money out of that library, help me,
Yeah, like the allocations from the library.
yeah.
But who
The
owns
library
fi-
fund,
Who owns the
thank you.
fire department? Who owns the fire hall?
I think it could be possibly similar to when the swimming pool was done, the EDA owned it.
Or similar to the fire department when it was fire department property, but then it was absorbed by the city, but I don't know.
I just think you have to look
That's
at,
crazy town.
here's my piece on it. If we're taking library funds to
Yep.
buy the whole building, then that half that's gonna be used for something else should go back into the library funds. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You know, okay, so that's all we're saying, and if it doesn't, then the other option would be that then any rent collected should go towards the library funds. I mean, that's what Jan and I were kind of talking about before,
The
that,
I
library
think-
staff just doesn't wanna be the puppet master with the funds.
No,
Right.
and I don't think any circumstance we expect a completely volunteer board to do. Just like the library, do you guys write your own checks or does
No, that's all done through the city, and that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, my biggest thing is, I don't think we should buy the whole building with library funds, and then half of it be used for something else, and it not go back to the library.
Yeah. No,
Okay, that's the biggest piece of it that I'm trying to get across.
And I also told her too, depending on how all this pans out, we can all call some special meetings too if we need to make some decisions here and
Right.
there. But now you actually bought yourself more time without this grant speeding things along.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can, I didn't get back to the insurance guy, but like if you did, it would be cash flowing for the library if you only bought half of it, if we got all the donations.
Can you do it that way? I don't know, can you?
We'll have to find out and ask for sure.
Yeah. But it would, yeah. So,
We can look into that.
Yeah,
We'll get some more answers. First, we'll see kind of what answers you get back.
right.
to 'em.
I'd still like to make that phone call and,
Yeah,
alright, then we move on. Review, any discussion on that, or?
Make some progress on it, the way it sounds.
Something. So, alright, moving on to new business. Vendor edition, residents questions.
I'll read each question and then you can explain it. How's that sound?
Okay.
These are questions, there's two property owners that are down there trying to build their homes right now and they have a lot of questions. And I wrote them down and I will read them and then we can discuss them. The first question, the fence should be moved back 5 feet from the easement in their backyard. Is currently sitting right on the property line. Nate Sherburne agreed to allow the trench to be dug on the back side of the fence, so you didn't have to move the fence. And they felt, since it's in the middle of an easement, that it should be moved. But then, after looking into this, and we met with our city engineer today, we found out, so there's his fence is right on the property line, that was there before it was platted. So it was all in all rights, it can be there. And then they platted those 6 lots, and there is a 5-foot easement on this side, and a 5-foot easement on that side, except for one thing, this side isn't platted. So technically, you only look at this side.
So if we're gonna move the fence, we should move it 5 feet closer to their houses. I don't think they're gonna like that, so. I mean,
And Nate said, since it's not a requirement according to our ordinances, which it is not, if you read them, to have it moved, he said if we want it moved, the city can pay for it, but otherwise, by all rights, he has all rights to leave it as that. And he did allow for the trenching to be dug on the backside. And let's say in the future, if something breaks and we gotta go dig it up, and we damage the fence, we're not held responsible for it, cause that's in our ordinance, but as far as making them move it, that's not in there. So we can't really do anything about that right now.
my opinion was that the fence was there when they bought the property,
Yeah.
and it was a brand new fence, so why do you think now somebody's gonna move it?
I think they were looking at the plat that they got with the 10-foot easement, where they're like, you know what, there's an easement there, let's move it, but not realizing that that backside is not platted. It's ag land. So once that's platted back there, then that 5-foot easement on the other side will come into play, but it's not there yet.
So the original must have showed them though that if there was a 10-foot easement, would have had to show them that the fence was there.
Yes, but the fence was there previously before they platted it, so basically it's like.
Right, so when they platted it,
Yep,
they went to that 5-foot easement, you know, okay? So,
Yeah.
okay, your property stops here.
yep,
Now you got 5 feet, now you got a fence.
yeah, but
That should have all
normally,
been stated right from the very beginning.
right, but normally in a new development, you never allow anybody to build on a easement, but it was already there before they platted it. So we can't make them tear it down according to our ordinance.
Well, right, like you say, it was already there,
Mhm.
but the easement went to the fence, cause it's already there.
Yep,
That's homesteaded in,
and
so.
if they're looking at the plat where it shows a 5-foot easement on the backside, but also, so when they're looking at it, it makes sense, I see what they're getting at, but what they don't understand is the backside isn't platted. So basically, Until that's
Technically
planted
not an
someday,
easement there yet,
it's not there yet.
Well, right.
So we can't make Nate move his fence. Even though they want it, we can't make it.
So what happens if, so they got that fence there, and you got 5-foot easement from that fence, correct? What if they decide, you know what, I wanna put up a privacy fence, and I gotta be at least 5 feet back, and they still put up
Yeah, they
another
can.
fence with another fence behind it,
No,
you know?
here's the current fence right in the middle of the easement, you go 5 feet, and they can put their fence up there. And
Right.
if someday if something breaks and John's gotta get in there and tear it up, he can. But until then, we don't have to make him move it, for now.
And all the utilities, or it's just electrical, right? It's on the other side of the fence.
Gonna be, yes.
On Sherburne's land. And he was fine with that, he said, that's fine, you can go on the backside of it, but he said, I'm not tearing that fence up.
We need a motion on that, other than,
I
Motion,
Suppose that's
I think
only
it's-
one question of all the questions. so-
Yeah, I don't think it's really a motion, it's
Yeah.
just information of,
Information.
we looked into it and.
Yeah.
Turns
Okay,
out.
question number 2.
Okay, who's responsible for maintenance and power if anything happens to it? John, you wanna answer?
We are.
The city. Is the city letting others, if they build behind them, tie into power? If so, will the current owners get reimbursed anything for their share they put into bringing the power to that location?
no,
And that is a no.
because then they would have to write checks to Slick, because you paid for the property, you paid for the power to get to your lot, and you're not,
All right, and I will be sending them.
Yeah. So they gotta bring the power to the back of their lot. And they're worried about, well, what if somebody builds back here? I paid for all this to get it here and they just hook up? No, they, when they redevelop that, have to pay to get that to the back of their lot. So they're not paying anything less. They're paying to bring it back here. So it's the same amount.
and I think on that, we discussed that we would take overall cost of it getting power to all 6 lots and just divide it between all 6 lots. And when they hook up and get power, they get the bill for 1/6 of the entire cost of the project to get power. And that's, is what it is, yeah. I mean, that's the fairest way to do it, so.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Next one, can stakes be driven into the ground in the correct location to show the height of the new eventual road so the current landowners can match up their grading plans with the recommended elevations? There's part of the road that's lower than the other, and our city engineer said that he's gonna take the information that he's got and he can get it within 6 inches,
Plus or minus 6 inches.
plus or minus 6 inches of where the new road will be in the future. And he will work on that, but he's not gonna get it until spring.
Yeah.
And he's taking plans that he has and Nate Sherburne's plans and trying to come up with an elevation for you.
So they are going to redo that road, that gravel road, basically?
Gonna have to. Yeah. So, for water drainage.
It's not that far off, it's just,
Who's supplying all the gravel for all this?
You don't for one corner.
yeah. The guy
I
that's,
saw the pile up there, bring a crusher in and just crush that stuff.
but by spring, he can be within a foot of top and back curb and top road, so he should have that number, so.
The current landowners would like in writing if they will be responsible for paying for the road with assessments in the future. And you weren't here earlier, but we had our city engineer come down today and we went down there and he went through all of this. So the city is paying for those costs because a lot of these conversations were gonna be had until the future. But we hurried him up to get some of your answers, so, he told us today that, yes, they should be assessed to the property owners. And whether it be the full amount, a portion of it, or whatever, that's up to the city. but he said everybody else had to pay for their road in town, and that usually is in the cost of buying your lot. When you buy your lot, you're paying for your street in front of it. Here is a little bit different circumstance, the street was not part of their purchase of their lot, but they still have to pay for the street. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
I don't know, I'll have to look through my records, I'm pretty sure that for that road.
And you, my friend, would also be assessed. Along with Corpstein on the other side, but since if any road ever makes your property more valuable, you would be assessed for it, because that would include you guys too, but since your primary street is in the front of you, and this is a secondary street, you guys don't have to pay the full amount that the other ones would when it's their primary. So you and Corpstein would pay a portion of it determined by council.
Determined by council?
Oh, man, say it's 4-1.
Abstain.
Financially,
Slick's gonna be on here until he's 90.
Any other questions on that?
Nope.
Who will be responsible when the new road goes in for repairing any disturbed yards, replanting, and grass? And again, our city engineer said today that that will be part of the road project.
Just like on Front Street, when they put the road in, all the sod and all that, that was just part of the project. It was just, so it'd be, yeah, just part of the project. So,
Any other questions on there? What are the drainage plans to the east side of Bender's 5th edition? John, I'll let you kind of explain that from our city
It has to be maintained as it is, or a ditch could possibly be moved, just so that the water drains off.
yeah.
I thought they talked about that, I was out there that one day when they were talking about that whole ditch was gonna be moved
Mhm.
south, I believe,
That'll be up to the landowner at the time.
yeah. And
Right
he
now-
was there, I think, at that time.
Right now, it's gonna stay as is until that property owner decides to build their house, and then at that time, it can be moved over.
It can be moved, but has to maintain so it drains the water off.
Which means, the corner of, their property in the cul-de-sac is a little bit lower than the rest of it, it's gonna have to be built up a little bit, so the water still runs towards
Makes
that.
it to the drain, so probably have to come up about a foot on that corner.
Which part of that has to be shaved off anyways, so it can possibly be built. So that is all of the questions, and you guys are here, do you have any questions for these guys? Or do you want us to go back over some of the ones that you possibly missed?
Okay, what about the fence?
Okay, so the fence, after going through all the legalities of it, the long and short of it is the fence does not need to move. Because there's an easement where it's platted, but on the back side of it, it's ag land, and that easement doesn't come into effect until the back side is platted, which it's not currently. So in those ordinances, it states that the fence can be on the property line, which it is. Since that was there first before it was platted, right now, the fence doesn't need to move. If you ever plats that in the future, then it needs to move, because then that additional 5 feet comes into play. Right now, since he's trenching on the back side, if John needs to get in and fix anything, then, and if he breaks the fence, whatever, we're not liable for it. But, we can't, according to our ordinances and the way it was set up, make him move it. So,
Okay, who's gonna maintain this power then,
that's,
City.
yep, that would be the city,
after we put it in?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We don't want you touching it, you might die. We'll leave that to my energy or John. And I don't think you were here yet, I think you were walking in for the question you had about, is the city letting others, when they go behind you, tie into that power? That's yes. And, wondering if so, will the current owners get reimbursed anything for their share they put into bringing the power to that location? And that is a no, because you have to pay bring the power to the back of your property, and even though they're tying in, they will have to at that point pay to bring it to the other side of their property. And so on and so forth, that's how they do city planning going forward, and I just learned this literally today from our city engineer. And so most people, like, say I bought my house and the street's already done and everything, that's built into my purchase price of my lot. Where you guys, you know, that's not part of your purchase price
Wow.
in your lot. So that's very unfortunate, and we all discussed that today, and we totally understand that that's an unfortunate circumstance, but that's the difference is, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but
Yeah, it's,
So what we put in the other day, Matt and I are gonna be flipping that whole bill.
We're gonna put it into all 6 lots, and we're gonna divide it between all 6 lots.
we're gonna do it all at once, so we don't have to dig in, dig out. And, those costs are going on those other lots.
two. And all get divided by 6. So,
Do we pay up front, is going on our taxes, or what's gonna happen?
I would prefer it if you paid it up front. That'd be easier, but if you want it to go on your taxes, we can do that as well. You guys can think on that and let us know.
when we just call it like a hookup fee, when we turn the power on, we need the check for paying for the power to get
Right.
there.
They've already paid that fee,
Yeah,
but we
Already
can,
paid for it.
Right.
We've already paid, I paid over $3,000 already.
Yep.
And same with Matt Vetch.
So this, going forward, the next lots next to you that haven't been sold yet, that's gonna be added onto their invoice. The only bit of good news that we have for you is the cost of this, I mean, it's pretty, a little bit. The cost might be a lot less than what we told you. Because
Well-
John has been working hard trying to do what he can for you guys.
That's one thing I got, John, thank you very much. You've done a hell of a job for our Matt and I, and we appreciate it. I know you've had to wear steel underwear a few days. Because I know you ain't got much left back there. I've seen that personally.
We don't wanna tell you the number that we think it is, because we don't wanna give you any false hope, but we do think it might be considerably less than what we initially told you.
Well, you've never really told us, sir.
I think we said $5,000 or $6,000, wasn't it? I sent you an email that one day.
it was 6.
Yeah, so John thinks he can do that for less.
Yep.
So just
Per total project?
per, yeah, well, per lot.
Per lot.
Per lot. Mm-hmm. So it might not sting as bad as everything else already.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. What else? Herbstein.
Yeah.
We talked about you, I don't think you were in here either. We were talking about the future paving of that road. I know everybody was wondering if people are gonna be assessed that road. And we were out there today and we met with our city engineer and he said, yes, it will be assessed to the property owners, including yourself and Mike. But he said, anytime that a street goes in and it improves your property, you guys have corner lots, it makes the value of your home go up. But, you guys, since it's not your primary street, will not have to pay as much as the other people where it's their primary street. It's like considered a secondary street for you. So, you guys will be paying a portion or percentage of the whole thing, but it won't be as much as the other folks. And we don't know what that is yet, because we don't know what the numbers are for the road. But just, he wanted me to let everybody know that today, that that's usually how other cities do it.
When I bought the lot and I talked to Paul Morgan, he said they go by the longest side of your house is what you get assessed at.
Yeah,
He said and he said, join your lots and you won't have to pay for that road. Now you're telling me something different.
yeah, that's what I was told today, that that's how it's normally done by our city engineer. He said if it benefits.
Well, I talked to Paul Morgan, Friday, and he
Yeah.
said in the past they have never assessed for any roads.
Oh, yes, they have.
Well, that's what
They
he
assessed
told me.
my road that I live on.
What did they assess for that $1.2 million street they put in back here?
Nothing. And
Why?
and that's a good question, because our financial advisor told me that that should never have happened.
Well,
And-
change it and assess them,
I know, but that's been in
or
the
don't assess
process.
us,
That was
one
in
or the other.
process before I got here, and he said any future project going forward should never not be assessed.
That's 1.2 million.
Yeah. I didn't do it. I wasn't even here yet, but I'm just saying,
It's the city that did it. You're,
right,
you guys keep changing the rules constantly in the city.
because the council keeps changing, and we have people
To
that have
bring
different
up a
views.
point about that road,
That's 1.2
When-
million.
when I built that house, I wanted a 3-car garage. And I needed a setback, and Paul Morgan would not let me have, I kept telling him I need 5 feet, gave me 5 feet, then it was okay, the overhang. On that road, which I went up to, in City Hall there, Lynn says, is that a road? Well, it's not really a road, but it could be a road. Well, I need to know if it's a road.
It wasn't
Is
at that
It's a
time.
5-foot setback or a 20-foot
It wasn't at that
at
time,
that
but
point.
since
And
then
now-
it's changed.
Yeah, so like he says, when we built there, it was never a road.
Right.
And now it's become a road.
It's become a road
Yeah.
because
So-
the city inadvertently, it became a road because they go around with the snowplow. And if you snowplow it, if you grade it, if you rock it, we brought you rock before to fill in snow, that becomes a city road. And we
Right.
didn't know that.
And
But
once
it's
a
been
city road,
maintained
it
on
should
the
be
side of the
blacktop and
road,
made-
cause
Yeah, so
'Cause
now it's a
everybo-
city road. Now, that's how Nate Sherburne did not have to do any of the stuff for the road because it's not his problem.
So if it's a city road, why ain't it gonna get blacktop?
Because
No,
our
not.
attorney said that we don't have to do anything with that road except for maintain it the way that we have up until this point.
that's not what you wrote in the paper about 3 years ago, what went in the paper. When you guys were first gonna put in a whole block there, which was the plan.
That's when there was a developer.
Yeah,
There's no developer. These guys are the developers now.
The new homeowners, the new property owners are the new developers. They
Yeah.
develop their own.
boy, you guys sure screw things up, boy. The city is getting screwed. And these guys are getting screwed, in my opinion. You guys keep treating people like this that are coming to the city, you're gonna kill the city. This is terrible what that has happened to them. How would you like to be treated like that? Buy a lot and then have to spend money to put utilities and everything in? My
It-
God,
it-
what the
it
It's
hell?
their
says-
purchase
It says in
agreement.
their purchase agreement, like right there,
I know.
they are responsible.
Okay,
Look
As
up,
is.
all right.
It just says to hook up to it,
Hook
doesn't
up
say,
to it.
doesn't say to bring it to us.
I'm not saying you guys didn't get a short end of a stick, but you didn't get it from the city. You had your lawyer look at this, you said that in the zoning meeting, you had a lawyer look at this. Any lawyer should have read that and said, that's very gray.
I don't know. It's a cluster if you ask me.
I think all of it's unfortunate. Honestly, I do, and I feel terrible, and we've been trying to do the best we can to try and help them out as good as we can, and we have not been perfect about it, but we're trying, because we do know that this is not easy for these guys. It's not easy for any of you down there.
Let me ask you this, Friday there was a backhoe. Are we gonna get stuck with any of that backhoe, Bill, Matt and I?
Whoever you hired to do it is who's
No,
gonna
no,
be
no, no,
charging
no,
you.
no. You guys told Sherburne that he had to dig that trench through there.
Oh,
That's it.
okay, that would be Sherburne.
That's Sherburne's.
I didn't,
So we're not,
there's dirt everywhere, I don't know which one you're talking about.
1 hour of it, not the backhoe. 1 hour waiting, Danny waiting and his helper waiting for us to put the power line in.
so we gotta pay 1 hour.
1 hour, but not the backhoe. Just waiting for us to lay the power line in, so.
So we're gonna get billed from the city for 1 hour. Or, correct?
Correct. Yep, that's what I told Danny to bill me.
All right, now, we gotta put from, on the other side of the fence, we gotta go from where we stop and dig to the east.
Yep.
All right, can we dig that ourselves and have you lay it in? Matt can get a backhoe for nothing.
I guess I don't see why not, as long as you dig it to my specs, I don't see why not.
That's what I mean.
Yep,
I don't see a problem with it.
I mean, save us some money.
Yep.
One thing we're gonna end up paying is for the underground power.
Yep.
And the transformers.
Yep, and then I'll just get somebody to dig the other way. Unless you wanna dig that way too, and divide up for everybody,
Well,
cause I'm gonna put power to all the lots now. So we're not back in there again.
You can do some thinking on it.
Yep.
Let us know.
how far the other way?
Well, same distance.
Let me talk to Matt.
If you wanna let me know, and I can let John know what you guys decide on that. Cause I told Nate today that if we're gonna dig it, we're gonna do all it at the same time. On his lots that are not sold too. It's just, and he was okay with that, so,
One of the things, so.
yeah. Right.
And you don't have to, I can hire somebody else to go the other way.
No, I mean, let me talk to Matt.
But I mean-
Because Matt's got a backhoe,
Yep. Yep,
because the only thing then we'd have to do is pay for the wire.
wire and transformer, and then my energy tied in.
Because we've got a lot of unexpected bills here we didn't know about.
Yep. I understand that.
Because we were told one side of the story and
Do you have any other questions? Do you have any other questions? No?
No, I guess not. I guess you guys are gonna do what you wanna do. I might as well leave. Do what the hell they wanna do anyway. What a joke.
Moving on to number 2, bulk grant award letter.
That was the amount of $4,000 we were awarded for the fire department, and if I remember correctly, it was for 4 safety vests and 27 pairs of fire gloves.
That's just an information
Mhm.
deal to.
Yep.
Alright, Spring Grove Fireman update, bylaws, Relief Association.
They added the charitable gambling language into that. It just needs to be approved by city council.
Use that read through it all.
Well,
I'll make
That's-
that
still doesn't make sense why we're approving this.
I know, we had a conversation yesterday, because Brian called me, he'd been on there for, but it's something you do, that's what the state's asking.
So they have to have it in their records in order to get
That's
their
the
license.
city.
I'm not against it, I just we have
What he
nothing to
says-
do with them, they're a
It's a whole bunch of
nonprofit.
steps that
Here's the
every
thing.
organization that gets charitable gambling has to.
What Brian's
go through.
asking is, and Eric was on the fire department one time too. The Relief Association was separate from the city had no control on it. All we gotta do is prove that, okay, they're amending the bylaws. The Relief Association has never been touched by the city before, unless they were short on funds for retirements.
They're basically just informing us
Yep,
of.
Yeah.
and we have to prove it and say that, okay, yes, they brought it forth in front of us.
Yeah, like I just thought of it, whatever. If I-
You knew how it worked, I
Yeah.
knew how it worked, and I kinda
I just
questioned
can't,
it
I
too.
don't get it, but okay.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I-
Aye. Can you vote?
Oh, right.
Eric? Okay. Forget why we're here, guys, or what?
Check out.
I sure playing solitaire on the computer.
Alright. Congressional directed spending awarded to Spring Grove Fire Department 1.5 million.
Yay!
Judgment,
It is a $3 million project, and before people get bent out of shape about the amount, this has been in the process for the last 3 years, and we do have money set aside, and we do have funds that have been sitting there that we could possibly take from. Thursday, we're meeting with our engineers, and they're gonna come up with an exact number of what this build is gonna be, not guesses anymore. And then we take those numbers to our financial advisor, and then he works his magic, and then we use it. So, as far as, taxpayer dollars being spent on this, the whole goal is going for 0.
But all free money,
Yes. So,
there's no free money for the government.
no.
We've already paid the taxes on this.
Yeah, I know.
And also, the plan is for it to go up, between the basketball, pickleball courts and New Age Tree Service building. On the grass
Have you
area.
found a builder yet? Or
Yes,
Who's that?
They're-
A general, you mean?
Yep.
A general.
General,
yeah.
General, yeah.
Who's the gen?
Weezer Brothers.
No.
They're the ones that did the initial plans. They worked with the fire department, brought them in, and those are the ones that I submitted with the grant.
Yeah, when it came time when we first applied for this, we needed somebody that knew this kind of stuff, that was close, that we knew.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, they're good.
We called them and they were pretty helpful.
And I did put a recommendation in that anything local that we can have done, whether it be electricians or whatever, they said they're willing to work with us on local builders.
My dad was on the fire department 40 years ago and said we needed a new firehouse, so I guess it's maybe about time.
Was that long ago since he was on?
Probably.
Just getting it off Main Street, off the highway. That would be huge.
One big thing is the ambulance, but we're not going to leave them hanging by any means, so.
Sure, absolutely not.
Are they going to go in the same building?
No. They can add on to it, but they cannot go in that building because of the way that we wrote it with the state. Everything has to be for city funds, for the fire department. They did ask if the ambulance was part of the city, and they're not, so they said this is for fire department only. Now, the city will allow them to go up there and build next to it. if
Well,
we-
why can't that be just the ambulance?
Well, yeah,
No,
it's also,
it's better to have too much room than none, no. I'd rent a part of it for $1.
well, as we heard earlier, there
a
might
buck.
be other options for
A
other
buck.
businesses. Cause you want businesses on your main street, so if there's an opportunity to possibly sell that or something, we can find them another location. We're not gonna leave them hanging. And I think I've talked to their board members and reassured them, I'm like, our council is not gonna just kick you out. You better not. Just kick them out. I'm like, we care about them
And
and
there,
They can stay there, they can have it.
we'll take care of them.
we can sell that building and the back of the, you know, we really need a nonprofit for the back half of the daycare that was an old shop, and they want more space for training. Could be an ambulance bay and an ambulance training center, be a nonprofit.
There's options. So, but this is all new, so by no means are there
Yeah.
any decisions made, it's just ideas floating around, so. There's a lot that needs to be talked about, and we just haven't been there yet.
Yeah. Alright, no vote on that or anything needed?
No.
Zoning permits.
The 2 zoning permits I gave her for the 2 new builds for down in Bender's 5th edition.
Okay. Moving on to ordinance and policy. Policy number A335, Minnesota Family Paid Leave. So,
Yeah, just needs to
Yeah.
be, so
I
I
make
think,
a motion.
I'll second.
Not
I
really.
really have no say in it.
Updated verbiage.
Yeah. You guys will have to pay it. You guys will have to pay it. 0.8%. Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright. Mayor, council. We're up by mayor, council. Blah, blah, blah.
Get that written down, blah, blah, blah. Wow. Really?
We have done, when do we wanna set a budget meeting?
Start with number one first. We'll go online.
Next city council meeting will be December 16th at 6 p.m. here. We,
That's good taxation night too, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yep.
We need to meet before that. Erin has basketball going on now, so I texted her and she said Wednesdays are probably the best nights, so December 3rd or 10th, probably.
Wanna go third?
Yep.
In case we need one on the 10th.
Wait a second.
Thinking ahead.
What time and where?
Whatever works, I can do
City Hall?
whatever. City Hall.
What time?
5:30,
Sure.
gets dark, I'm ready for that night.
We just make it an open meeting so we can talk about whatever we wanna talk about too. Like the first budget meeting or the second budget meeting.
Huh?
Just make it, instead of just a budget meeting and we just go over numbers, we can actually have a discussion in it. Like we did for the one budget meeting, first one we did, second one.
Okay. Just have it open.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. 5:30, you said? Okay.
Alright, meeting reports, EDA. Trying to work out some stuff with revolving loan funds, pretty much is all. Trying to set a maximum of how much we can give out, like how big of a project it, like a percentage of the project it is, we only want to go to a certain percentage, so we're not the primaries on any building or anything like that, and then set a limit, like we've got 70,000 in our funds, in revolving loan funds, so we don't wanna go over like 35% of that on one project. So if we have 70,000, is it 20,000 is, we were talking about is the most we give
I
out
think
for
we
any-
changed it to like 30. We upped it from what it was. I just changed it, but I don't remember.
We
Oh,
did,
it's in our,
but we didn't, yeah, like. But we didn't, yeah, before we really had nothing, like, some people got 60,000, some people got 20,000, there's like no real reason.
it's basically you don't wanna put all your eggs in one basket in case they go belly up. And all your money is loaned out to one business.
Yeah.
So they set some parameters, and that's coming back to them, the next EDA meeting to review it again and approve it.
Moving on to parks,
There wasn't no meeting.
I seen the cement pads are in,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it.
yep, soon they will get the baskets.
So the basket goes,
Wait, are they coming in now or in the spring?
We're gonna try and get them at this fall.
Okay.
the baskets go in the cement pad?
Nope.
No,
No, there's a difference in the.
Like way down,
yeah,
the cement pads are kind of like your Gulfin where you tee off,
they're tee-off
and then the pads, or the,
Best.
baskets.
baskets
My
are,
husband gave me lots of information on this.
What are they doing
the
with
baskets
the
are
old
where you
Exciting
throw
stuff.
to.
What's that?
What are you doing with the old basket?
They're gone.
We're gone,
Where are they?
a Parks member recycled them.
You know who those were made by?
The school, wasn't it?
Special ed class,
Oh, thanks, Lord.
2007, boys and girls.
You know who painted them?
You?
Special ed.
Thank you for your service, Eric.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They lasted a long time, Brian.
Yeah.
Good job. Now we have new shiny
I
ones.
didn't even know I volunteered, they just showed up one day.
Planning and zoning. That was
Oh, we
pretty
talked
much-
about the two houses,
Yeah,
met with two property owners, one of their plans. What else did we do? Not much, was it?
That was about it.
what did Lee want us to do? He wanted us to update something. Cause after they left, we had a bit of talk about something.
I don't remember.
Whatever it was, I just updated it, I know what you're talking about, I
Yeah.
can't remember what I did. It was highlighted,
Yeah, if you want us.
I fixed it, it's coming to the next,
Plan zone.
yeah,
Alright. We did things.
yeah, we did something.
We discussed a lot.
So, library?
I didn't make it to the meeting tonight, but I think we got the gist of it from Karen.
Yeah, most of that. I mean, if you want any other updates, so you're just, Jan Lochner's last day is December 15th, and depending on, they might look at, filling that position. Millie's been out, so depending on if she can take on more or not. Jana will be talking with you though, Jana, once it's figured out what needs to happen there. There's 2 library positions to be filled, mine and, Bonnie, Solberg's. And so we voted in one of them today for approval on the next, and then there's another one that we're kinda checking into, so.
They're gonna give me the information, and I'll bring a resolution to the next
Yeah.
month's meeting to approve it.
And then the Halloween party was really good success, they had a lot of good feedback, and they're planning to do another one next year. They've got a gnome bottle class on December 11th at 6 o'clock that Shara Liptak will be doing.
What is it?
Gnome bottle class. They're making gnomes out of
Oh.
like wine bottles.
I thought you said known.
No, gnome, no,
Okay.
Gnome.
G-N-O-M-E.
Gnome, yeah.
Do you drink the bottle before you come? Or what?
I was gonna say,
It wouldn't hurt.
a known bottle class.
Or during.
Motion to adjourn,
Motion adjourned.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
The budget meeting will be 12